Yo, what is up, everyone? We are here with the Dark Souls 2 runner and their commentator. Take it away.
Hello, so I'm Alibaba. I'm going to be doing a run of Dark Souls 2 any% current patch, and with me is another runner of this game, Pseudo Stripey. Do you want to introduce yourself, Pseudo?
Hi guys, I'm Pseudo. I'll be helping commentate Alibaba's run today. Hopefully everything goes well.
Yeah, so I guess I'll give a countdown. So, 3, 2, 1, go. So, basically the main premise of this game is that there's an area called... We want to get to an area called Drain Lake Castle, and in order to do that, you need to get past the Shrine of Winter. And in order to get past Shrine of Winter, you need to fulfill one of two requirements. Either collect the 4 Great Souls or 1,000,000 souls. And so what we're going to do is we are going to collect the 1,000,000 souls by killing a specific boss many times over, as that does turn out to be faster than the alternative.
Yeah, so the Shrine of Winter is it's almost like a halfway through the game, like locked door that, as Ali says, there's two different ways you can open it, and we're going for the 1,000,000 soul route. It turns out to be faster because you don't have to, rather than spiraling to different areas, which is a lot more running, you kind of just go to one area and essentially complete it on more and more difficulty. And as long as, because we have quite a good build in the speed run, that turns out to save quite a lot of time.
Yes.
About 10 minutes or 15 minutes compared to the other version.
Yeah, so I started with the bonfire ascetic gift, and the reason for that is because when you use it on a bonfire, it basically resets everything in that area to the NG plus version of whatever NG you're on. And also, what was that jump?
Oh, nice. Right.
that hasn't happened to me in quite a while.
Yeah, this is actually it's about the worst thing that can happen at the start, but it does. Sometimes the momentum off this rock pushes you sideways rather than forwards, which is what happened here. So it's not a great start, since we're right next to a bonfire. I'm sure many people have played the Souls games, but the bonfires are the kind of the save spots for the game. So we're only about 5-10 seconds away from the next one. So this death kind of costs a bit more time than you would like. Usually, but hopefully it won't happen again. We didn't have any souls, so it's only a time loss. It's not affecting the route or anything.
Well, do you want to finish what I was saying about the ascetics, Pseudo?
Yep. So, so there's a mechanic in Dark Souls 2. It's not in the other games, although as far as I can tell, most people actually quite like the mechanic called bonfire ascetics in Dark Souls 2. It's an item that you need to essentially go and find, or you can buy them in late game, and it resets the area on a higher difficulty, so the rewards are better. They've added extra enemies in some areas in the New Game Plus areas, but it's essentially a way to kind of get more of the late game rewards by saying, oh, okay, I'm going to complete this area. I'm going to use the bonfire aesthetic to complete this area on a harder difficulty to get a better reward, so that I can kind of progress in a different way, than kind of being forced to do 3 completions of the game or whatever in order to get whatever item it is that you're after. In this case, we're just after a lot of souls, so we'll happily do it on higher difficulty. But there is a limited amount of ascetics in the game. There are farming routes that you can kind of get lots of souls from at Giant Lord, for example. But here we're just going to get the minimum number that we need, which is 4, for this route. And we're going to burn them and continually kill boss for higher and higher rewards until we reach a sum total of 1,000,000 souls earned throughout the run, which is the second requirement to open the Shrine of Winter.
Yeah, so the first half of the run is basically just preparing for those fights, essentially, and collecting what we need.
Yep, so we have the bonfire aesthetic starting gift. That's obviously extremely quick to pick up, as in no time at all. a very useful item to start with if you're not sure. If you're doing a casual Dark Souls 2 run, can recommend, because there's not that many of these in the game, so getting one for free is quite cool, given that the other items are really not that useful. So yeah, definitely start with one, and now just kind of progressing through early game, come to the Forest of Fallen Giants, which is one of... There's a couple of options, but this is the main kind of first area that you get to.
Yeah, and we've got probably one of the only big glitches on current patch coming up as well.
Yeah, so I'll talk you through it as it happens. Honestly, nobody's really that sure why it works, but that in this game they let you fight Pursuer early by fighting him on a platform rather than in the boss area. But that's kind of like one of the only places where the boss actually spawns outside of its arena, and you can do something funky with this bonfire. Because we just lit a bonfire there, and we're going to go and spawn this Pursuer. He flies in when we cross this gap, when we cross it backwards, technically. And so he'll start swooping down, being carried by a bird. But if we rush back to this bonfire and rest, we can despawn the bird, and Pursuer kind of falls out of bounds and dies.
Yeah, so if you do it frame perfectly, you can actually get the souls that he's meant to drop, but that didn't happen this time, unfortunately.
Yeah. So here we got half the reward for the kill. I mean, which isn't bad given that it's a glitch. We got the soul of the Pursuer, so he's definitely dead. And if you go to his boss area, you can see he's dead. And we got the Ring of Blaze, which is the other reward for killing Pursuer. But we didn't get any... You see the souls are still at 0. So the game's clearly quite confused as to whether Pursuer is actually dead or not, but it's killed Pursuer, and it just didn't reward us fully for the privilege. And as Ali says, there's a frame-perfect version where you have to rest about 9.05 seconds after spawning Pursuer, where you will also get the 17,000 souls, and that's the fastest route available in any percent, but it's very tough, and you probably would not want to do that in a marathon.
So yeah, we're just going to kill the last giant for the souls we need now.
Yep, so we'll get killing last giant plus popping his soul is 16,000 souls, whereas had Pursuer died on the perfect frame, that would have been 17,000 souls, so the route kind of converges very quickly back to where we would be if we got the glitch perfectly. Nice RNG. The last giant is not meant to... Ideally it doesn't jump, certainly ideally it doesn't jump twice. That's unlucky.
So yeah, we're going to buy the key from Lynch here to open the blacksmith store. And walk to Majula.
So for those who haven't seen DS2 speedruns before, there's a weapon you can get called the Rapier, which is, I mean, it's a perfectly good end game, super late game weapon, which you can get for 1,000 souls extremely early into the game by opening this door and buying it. And so I believe every single route on current patch starts with a similar version to this. You go and get some souls to buy the key to this door to buy a Rapier. And then you use that for either the majority or all of the run. In this case, it's about half that we use.
Also, you saw me there. I used the item while I was talking to the blacksmith. The way that works is if you press the button to talk, and then basically just a tiny bit after use the item, it will store it up, and then you can use it while you're talking to them.
Yep, that means you can just use the soul while spamming through the required 5 lines of dialogue before the merchants open up, which is useful. Saves a decent amount of time over the run. 30 seconds or so. So we're now doing the pit drop. Different variants of this.
I know the backup though, luckily.
That is good. Yep. There is a quite precise backup for this that you can manage to do with this HP. But yeah, unfortunate. You meant to not fall through that beam. You meant to kind of stand on it and reset your full damage, but you've got to stand on a certain part of it, and I was just fractionally too far left. Very unlucky.
Okay.
Need to heal, do you? Okay, you're fine. Cool. Nice backup. That's quite a precise gesture or kind of movement off the ledge there. You just barely land on. I'm pretty sure you're not meant to be able to land on that ledge.
How do you miss the R1, man? Yeah, so I bought the cat ring, what we normally call the cat ring earlier, because in this game, full damage is pretty messed up. Like, it deals a lot more damage than it does in the other games.
Yeah, it's very different to the other ones.
And that ring decreases the damage you take by quite a lot, so we basically need it. It's a requirement, basically.
Yeah, especially for that early drop down the pit, which is what we did. There is a glitch to get down there without the cat ring, and it's an older route called cat ring skip, very imaginatively. But that's also not a very fun glitch to grind. You wouldn't want to do that in a marathon either. But it's extremely useful ring throughout the run. You can buy it from the cat. It's very good. And even these drops at the end of the gutter, if you don't have cat ring here, you'll build up quite a lot of damage. DS2 full damage is quite intense. Okay, so we're entering the Black Gulch here. This area is not very friendly to a casual player. There's a lot of things which hit you in the head and stagger you and poison you, and there's lots of enemies pushing you off cliffs and coming out of oil in the ground. But fortunately, it is, I don't know if scripted is the right word, but if you take the same pathing every time, they will fire in the same way every time. So the speedrun actually makes this a lot easier than you'll probably find it in a casual playthrough.
Yeah, so now we're doing probably the worst fight in this game, or one of them, which is the rotten. Yeah. So we have 3 ADP and a +0 APS, so it's not very fun.
In other routes, you can get more damage. Here, but this, for any percent, this is very much just the bare minimum that you need to get to the first boss, get him killed, so you can then start kind of cracking on with the rest of the route. Because we need souls to buy things and to upgrade. So we just do this boss with very low HP. Damage. This fight's going really well. Nice.
Yeah, and as we mentioned earlier, as I mentioned, there will be a boss that we're going to be killing quite a few times, and yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. So we just killed that boss on essentially the ordinary standard game variant, and then later we're going to come back and kill him 4 more times on higher and higher difficulties, getting more and more souls for the privilege. I think we got probably 50,000 for that kill, so it's not bad. That is a Lord soul, one of the 4 required, usually 47,000. Okay. So it's a good boss. It's a 1v1 fight. The rapier does a lot of damage. This is a +0. Like, yeah, you'll see that we do enough damage to comfortably kill him on high difficulties, which is quite good for such an early part of the game. We're only 10 minutes in.
Yeah, so
we build.
Yeah, so we entered the DLC because we want there's a soul we want to pick up, and also we want to get some more bonfire ascetics and an item called the Bright Bug as well.
And a ring called Flynn's Ring.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest reasons we came here.
It's extremely good for speedrunners. It does an awful lot of damage, and the requirements are that you don't wear armor. which you wouldn't wear anyway because you lose. Your stamina recovers more slowly. Oh, nice jump. So that was the Photoshop jump. It's one of the harder jump skips in the game. DS2 has a lot of jump skips because of the way momentum kind of works in this game, but that one is quite a precise jump and good to get it. If you fail it, you can kind of shoot an escape lever, but it loses you 15 seconds or so. And yeah, this is the first DLC of the game. So it introduced bright bugs, introduced splintering, and thankfully introduced a lot of bonfire aesthetics, which we can get. So for the any percent, the current 80% route is very dependent on this DLC to pick up things like the 20k soul, as mentioned. It's kind of like a late game area that's really quick to get to. Everything in this area will probably nearly one-shot you, but as long as you don't get hit, it's fine.
Yeah, it's a very jolly area.
Yeah. There is a mod for avoiding baby jumps in Dark Souls 2, which is used in the speedrunning community. Because I'll mention briefly that Dark Souls 2 jumping mechanic is not very well coded, and if your frame rate is struggling, you can not get a full length jump and die, and there's nothing you can really do about it. So it was agreed to, in a sense of fairness, that there's a mod that if you should have got a full jump but your frame rate dropped, it will mod it so that you still get a full jump. Whereas if you were just you jumped at the wrong angle, it's not gonna save you unless it was something which unfairly would have happened to you. And it's made speedrunning this game a lot better, in my opinion.
Yeah,
because you really don't want just random dice rolls just killing your runs, and it just makes everything more grindy.
Well, we got a dice roll right here, speaking of which.
Yeah. There are still some, but at least it's not hardware based.
Alright, that's good.
Yeah, nice RNG here. Any of them fall off? None of them fell off.
Yeah,
one of them fell off. Nice.
Yeah, I'm always really worried about that part, honestly.
Yeah. So these enemies, even if they were able to be killed, if we made them kind of have corporeal form or whatever, they have an awful lot of HP, and this build is kind of like a base level +0 weapon. We do not want to be fighting these DLC enemies, so we just run past them and kind of hope they leave us alone. Yeah. And if they don't, yeah, you're probably going to die. But in general, they could be worse. They're actually, generally, they're okay. So another 20,000 souls here. You can see we're at 94,000 souls, which is quite good. 15 minutes into a run. So this run's very much about rushing 1,000,000 souls. So
yeah,
so far.
Yeah. There is a category called any % old souls where you do actually go, I guess, the required or the main route that they want you to take to get to Draenei Castle. I guess I'll go for the guard break. Why not?
Okay, here we go. Worth it for the time save. So you can't. There's a couple of strategies to deal with this invader. The most flair and fastest one is to guard break him off the cliff.
Alright, nice.
Nicely done. And for the privilege, you get the effigy, which actually would be useful here, since we're hollow.
Yeah, so the safe strat is to just take the bonfire and drop down, because he will leave, I guess, or get summoned back to his world, but that's slow.
Yeah. If you drop down, that elevator kind of puts you into a different area, and then the invader's like, oh, you've ran away too much, and gives up. And the reason we have to get rid of him is because there's a grey wall stopping you getting to this current area, so you have to deal with him somehow, either by killing him or running away appropriately, or quitting out, something like that.
Alright, so that's the DLC.
Yeah, but just for those who missed that, picked up 2 bright bugs, and we picked up the 3 aesthetics here. So extreme bright bugs are a buff to your attack and your defense, very useful, 20%. And the bonfire ascetics are the item that we're going to use to keep farming that rotten boss that we just killed earlier. So the bonfire ascetics are the kind of like focus of this route. It's all about going, finding them, building up some damage on the way, and then using them all to get a lot of souls.
Yeah, so now we're going to be doing the first of 2 level ups. Yeah, you don't do too many.
People these days.
Upgrade the rapier a little bit. That extra damage, useful.
Now a good time for me to cut in with a couple donations.
Yeah,
Sure.
All right, so we have $30 from Nonki that says, thanks for putting this together, and remember that you should be taking it easy. Thank you, Nonki. And then we have $18 from Jeff that says, hi, MASH. All right, back to you.
Thank you. So yeah, we just got a bit of a running segment here. You have to go this way at some point in the game, because this is where late game will kind of branch from. So we do it now just to grab the extra buffs before we do the next fights.
Yeah, so after this it's the rotten spree time.
You'll see that there's a statue in your way here. They're kind of like key items that you also need, these fragrant branches of yore you have to pick up at some place. We grabbed this at the very start of the Black Gulch. They're actually not that easy to find in the vanilla game, Dark Souls 2. It's another reason why this route just works really well. When you go down to the Rotten, you just pick up so many things that are required in the run, and you don't need to go far out of your way to get them. As at least one branch is required to get through here. I think it might be the only one in this game that's needed.
Yeah, I think so. In Scholar you need a few though, I think.
Yeah, at least 3 for the 80% route in Scholar. For those who don't know, Scholar is just another re-release of Dark Souls 2, but they moved things around and added more enemies and
Yeah, they just added more BS to it basically.
yeah, and some areas are questionable, but it's the same concept. If you can play one, you can play the other. The routes are very slightly different. This is the original.
So yeah, now we're going to go buy some gold pine resins, which is a lightning buff for the rapier. Well, and melee weapons.
Yep. Pine resins in Dark Souls 2 are actually really, really strong. They last 90 seconds, which is actually really useful. And they add a decent amount of payout to your weapon. Here we get lightning pine, which I would say is probably the best overall. It's only a minor detour to get them, and it will add a lot of damage to every fight for the rest of the run. So you can also get magic and dark types from other places. This one's just convenient.
Yeah, so you can actually dark sign while you're buying the resins, but if you fail, it's basically run over. So
yep, if you fail, you're not getting any of that nice damage boost for the entire game. I guess you could come back here later, maybe, but you would lose a lot of time.
I mean, I guess you could do second rotten without it, but that'd be kind of bad. And we just picked up the red tier stone ring, which is not as OP, sadly, as it is in the first game. In this game, it's only about I think, is it a 20% damage increase? I think.
I want to say, yeah, 20%. Yeah.
Yeah, when you're below 30%, I believe, health.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And we're going to be using that quite a bit throughout this run. But yeah, now the time has come.
So now we get to fight the same boss 4 more times, and so, until I think our soul memory is currently around 100,000. So we need to get ourselves up a lot of souls. We do that by resetting the area on high difficulty, and then killing the boss. And then we're gonna do it again. This is why we needed the bonfire ascetics. our character's a lot stronger than the first Rotten now, but obviously the boss is also a lot stronger. So. And there's a mechanic called adaptability in Dark Souls 2, which I'm not sure if anyone really likes. But the idea is, it's a statistic you can level in order to increase the amount of iframes you get for your rolls in the game. Whereas in other games you kind of have a fixed amount of invulnerability. Unfortunately for the runner in any percent, you start as the class with the lowest amount of iframes in the game, so all of the rolls have to be a lot cleaner in this route than if you started with the Explorer class, for example. It just means that if you're a little bit up on some of these hitboxes, it'll kind of look like you die even though you don't really get hit, because the adaptability is so bad for this class. Okay, I'm going into round 3. I have to fight this guy 5 times. It's strafing him. Strafing this boss is very good since we don't have any iframes in our rolls. And if you chop his arm off, it gives you a lot more space to, a lot more opportunity to punish his attacks earlier, because his stub doesn't go very far.
Just 2 more.
With a nice light there. So we're now fighting him on the equivalent of New Game 4, so if you'd completed the full game 3 times, and then the 4th time you come and fight the Rotten, this would be the difficulty you're at. And it does go up. The biggest gap is between 1 and 2, and then it kind of gradually reduces between, say, 3 and 4, 4 and 5.
I forgot to use the bright bug there for a second.
But you do get progressively more souls every time you kill this guy. Huge attack. Very good for punishing him. Nice, that's 4 down. You have to be a little bit careful in this area since there's lava everywhere and we have no HP. So if you get yourself out of position, you can just burn to death. So just another thing to be somewhat careful of. The Rotten can move himself around the arena if he really wants to sometimes. So you do need to be a little bit at least aware of your position so you don't get pushed into the fire or something. You instantly die. And the bright bugs that are being used here are adding quite a lot of damage, stacking without TSR.
Yeah, bright bugs and Flynn's ring are just OP together, honestly.
Yeah. So, if you're ever playing casually and you're wondering how we seem to do so much damage against a new Game 5 boss with a +4 weapon, it's because of the stacking effects of some of the DLC items. Can chop off both of the Rotten's arms. He'll grow them back, but if you have the opportunity, then why not?
Alright, that was a nice finish.
Yeah, really good fights, dude. So that essentially marks about halfway through the run, at least from a routing perspective. It was all building up to killing that guy 5 times. When we get back to Medulla, we'll pop the souls for doing so, and that will bring us to 1,000,000 soul memory. Which means that when we get to the kind of halfway game door, it will be like, oh, okay, you've clearly played this game for long enough and got enough souls, we'll let you through. So I feel like it's a fallback mechanic they added. I certainly used it in my casual playthrough because I never found the 4th Lord Soul.
Oh, did you really?
And yeah, I missed Freya completely. And all of Saldora, in fact. I didn't find Saldora. I didn't get to Nazca, so that entire section missed out. But I still got through the door because it opened nicely for me. A big level up here, spending all those souls we just got.
Yeah, so now it's basically just the rest of the game, essentially.
Yeah, life gem count's looking a little sparse, but it's okay. 6 to complete the game. Let's go. I guess you can buy some more giant lords, but that's still quite a way out. So no pressure.
I mean,
Life gems are kind of what we use for Estus, because you only get 1 Estus in Dark Souls 2, unless you go and pick up shards to upgrade it. But that's a waste of time. So we just buy healing items and use them.
I mean, it shouldn't be too bad, as long as I don't mess up too much.
No, you'd be fine. Yeah, you can do it with this many.
Yeah, so if we hadn't had the 1,000,000 souls, or if we hadn't collected the Great Souls, we wouldn't have been able to enter the door there.
Yep, this is the big kind of blocker to make sure that you've done enough early game content, which apparently killing that boss 5 times is considered fine. And now we're approaching Dranglet Castle, which is the kind of the start of the back half of the game. From here, it's a lot more linear in which bosses are required.
Yeah, I guess it is basically the halfway point of the game in general.
Yep. It's about halfway through the speedrun, and it separates a lot of different areas.
Yeah, it also rains forever as we're here as well.
Yep. It's a lot of rain noise. So here we have to kill these enemies near the little giant dudes. I don't know what they're called.
Oh, that's not very good.
Yeah, that was... Unfortunately, the nearest bonfire to this is an annoyingly long way away. To this gate. I'm not sure why they made this run so long between the bonfire, because there's nothing there. It's just a running segment, but it's like two minutes long to do it. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to repeat that running segment. In the vanilla version of Dark Souls 2, those elephants can get really aggressive, like they did there.
Yeah, I mean, when the guy doesn't approach after you hit him, it's pretty sketchy.
Yeah. If you get the elephants attacking you and the enemy not chasing you down, you're not in good shape. Like at best, you're probably losing 15 seconds. At worst, you're dying. But most often, you could be dying. Like it's pretty bad.
Also, I forgot to equip the cat ring.
You're gonna grab the effigy here.
Is there an effigy here?
Yeah, on the right.
I don't need it, it's fine. Okay. It's only going to be really a problem if I die like 3 times or something.
Yeah, it's just a quick one if you need it. Okay, so take 2. We're going to try and kill the... Oh, that's an unfortunate error. Going to try and kill the row of soldiers, which actually hit quite hard, near enough these giant things so that they're soul is absorbed. I don't know the lore. Sorry, guys. You just kill them.
I know. What kind of setup is this, honestly? from a lore perspective.
I think there is some lore about it. I just don't know what it is. I just know you got to kill him about within 2 meters of this dude.
There you go. That's what's supposed to happen.
Yeah. Okay, you do that to both of them, and then they kind of open the gate. It's extremely slow, this door, so we kind of go over here and mess around whilst it thinks about opening.
Tight, and the elephants ran away as well.
So at this point in the run, we don't really need the ring that we had on for collecting souls throughout. That was just to maximize our souls to get past that door. And now it's just a case of, just like killing the bosses as we can. We'll get a weapon upgrade somewhat soon. Since we're still using a +4 rapier that we bought from the shop at the start.
Yeah, and we also have to kill a guy over here for this door to open.
Yeah, this is another one. Oh,
So-
no, here it's not a giant, it's just a door. You just have to kill him near the door. And the door absorbs that dude's soul.
Yeah, seems to be a trend with Draenei Castle.
Yeah.
I had no idea why.
It's a lot of this. You see, we use the Cestus there rather than the rapier to kill these guys because it's a different attack damage type, and strike weapons are very strong in this game against some enemy types like the stone soldiers.
Yeah, so now we're just making our way to the next boss, which is two dragon riders. Which is it's a boss that you can fight earlier, except there's 2 of them. Yeah, don't know why.
One of them shoots you. Yeah, one of them shoots you with a great bow this time. That's all. Scary.
What was that, man?
Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, this game has got some good memes, unfortunately. It's extremely unlucky though with the timing of the arrow.
Although the Mirror Knight's going to be a bit sketchy though. Sketchy.
That should be fine, right? Do you do RTSR Moon Knight?
What can you do no RTSR?
You can if you know what you're doing, yeah. Oh, no, in vanilla? Yeah, probably not. Probably not in vanilla, no. But you'll be fine. Like, you can set up RTSR from pretty much any HP for Moon Knight. Because you've got the different options off the roof.
These guys give me what I need.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, and of course they don't block now.
No. Yeah, these enemies are not very consistent. Sometimes they seem to just kind of do whatever they want, really. Sometimes they just completely let you through and don't even try and attack you. Other times they're like standing in the wrong position, both of them, and shooting you before you even get there, or like after you get past and they shoot you in the head. They're very annoying to deal with, especially when you're running through with RTSR. Also, not very good enemies for no hit.
I was brain dead there, honestly.
Bad luck, dude. It's fine, I get it this time. This hitbox is not great. It tracks you really quite a lot.
I'll just do no RTSR this time.
Ah, yeah, good shout. I don't know if the item at the start of Shrine of Mana is effigies in vanilla or not. I know it is in Scholar. I'm not sure if it is in Vanilla.
While we're running back up here, I'm just gonna take a quick moment to get caught back up on donations. We have a $5 donation from Mash that says, "Hi, Jeff." And we have a donation from Nick with a lot of style, $1 that says, "Good morning, guys. Wishing you a good run with no lizards."
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, here we go, take 3. Unfortunately, this fight is kind of annoying without RTSR as well, because it's a 2-on-1, right? So you kind of really want as much damage as possible, but as long as you can kill the bow guy, you really don't want to fight these with the dude shooting you if you can help it. Okay, that was good.
I've never actually seen that attack before.
Okay, nice with that. So here we have another soul giant statue dude you need to activate, but fortunately, for whatever reason, this top left dude is in range. I believe the top right dude isn't in range, but there we go, you can just kill this guy, and we don't need to wait for anyone. Oh, nice setup. Sweet. And then as soon as he starts the elevator, this is activating an elevator, as far as I know, is the longest elevator in the game. They decided instead of using load screens to just use long elevators. So we wait for it to come down here, and then there's a key that we need to open the door that we're currently looking at the top of this elevator. I don't honestly really know the point of this.
I know.
But at the top of this giant ladder elevator is a chest which contains the key to the door which we're currently looking at. So we're going to go and collect that.
Yeah, we had to wait for it to come down. Now we got to ride it all the way up.
You lose a few seconds, Nick. Dark signing here. It's a safety strategy because the door, for those who don't know, if you ran around rather than dark signing back to this elevator, there's a door with an elephant and some cyanites, and they can kill you or interrupt you, and you lose a lot of time. So it's just a lot easier to bone back in a race.
There's actually a gap here you can fall off if you run forwards.
Oh yeah. Also, if you alt tab and then try and click back into the game and do a rapier R1, you fall off and die. That's a good one.
Yeah, I remember.
So don't
Yeah,
do that.
I remember watching Red once, and he didn't know that there was a gap, so he accidentally went forward, and
yeah.
it didn't end well.
It's not good because then the elevator continues up, and then you've got to go and pull the lever. Wait, the elevator's come all the way back down. Then you've got to ride it all the way back up again, and you're just standing around not doing anything. Okay, so we got the key to open the door now. Nice little mini puzzle from Django. And we're going to go into the Moonite fight, which hopefully should be consistent if all things go well.
Yeah, so with Mirror Knight, it's basically a scripted fight if you do it properly.
Which is very good because about 6 years ago, it was not scripted, and people were like, "Should we fight Mirror Knight without actually fight him without TSR?" And it was not much fun. It was a terrifying fight. But nowadays, and for quite a while now, it's been kind of figured out. You can get him to keep doing the lightning attack, and it's very easy to just strafe the lightning. You won't follow it up with anything. Using the Ceases here because it's strike damage, which is good. Nice fight, nice and easy. So yeah, you whiff the first attack and then just make him keep doing lightning attacks whilst you stand right next to him and attack.
And now it's time for the best area in the game.
Yep, the Great Leveler.
Yeah.
Everyone who has ever speedrun Dark Souls 2 has probably died to this area. It is not much fun in either game. I think they kind of did it as a way that you're meant to like take your time here and be like strategic. I think it's the whole point of this designed area, but that's not really what you do in a speedrun. So you just kind of ignore the fact that you're being attacked by a load of enemies from all sorts of angles and ranges, and just run through it. Pray.
Yeah, and the enemies here are really annoying as well.
Yep. His enemies do more poison than anything else in the game. And they have attacks with extremely bad hitboxes. Yeah, it's just a bit of a mess, this whole area. Fortunately on vanilla you can do this strategy though, where the dudes don't aggro if you just stand slightly far to the left.
Can you not do it in Scholar?
No, it's patched in Scholar.
Damn.
So you have to just run past 3 of those people attacking you. But yeah, on vanilla, if you just stand mildly out of the line of sight, they'll just do nothing, which is fantastic.
Yeah, and these spellcasters are really annoying as well.
Yeah, they have an extremely long range. Longer than actually their spawn range, so if they despawn, the arrow keeps going, and if the arrow hits you, it does maximum damage because the game doesn't know how to understand. It's meant to reduce with range the damage that the arrow does, but when you get so far that the enemy is despawned, it doesn't know what the range is, so it just does maximum damage. So it'll do less and less damage until a certain range, and then it'll kill you. Well, not kill you, but do a lot. So not much fun. Yeah, there is a safe spot here, which is very useful. And now for the so-called Amana Fog Gate. One of the worst fog gates in the game. You do not get iframes on fog gates in Dark Souls 2. For quite a long time. This looks very good. Nice, beautiful. So yeah, once you get through there, it's a bit of a sigh of relief. It's not over yet, but it's if you get bad RNG there, you could easily die. I mean, you probably will die.
Yeah, shoutouts to EMP for the auto run setup, by the way.
Yeah. People have spent a lot of time trying to come up with the most consistent way of getting through that. That was pretty much as good as it gets. It's not even close.
Yeah, so this is the last boss, the Demon of Song, which we're actually going to fight with the rapier before we get a new weapon.
Boss can hit very hard, so you kind of have to wait your turn, and then you can do quite a lot of damage to him, but only when he lets you.
Well, that wasn't meant to happen.
Okay. Nice. And now we immediately upgrade to the new weapon, which we'll use for the rest of the game. Fortunately, it also has strength and dex scaling, so it kind of pairs quite well with the rapier build that we had before. And this is kind of like a naturally upgraded plus 10 weapon, because you can't upgrade it, so they made it really strong by default. Yeah, generally it's just, given that you literally get it on a boss that you have to kill, so you invest 0 time in getting it, it does a lot of damage. And we're on the third big elevator of the game. As we load into the new area, we've just finished Shrine of Amana. It's very clean. And now down into the Undead Crypt. We have to go all this way to get to get a ring which will act as a key to a door, which is blocking us from late game. So this entire path through Mirror Knight and Shrine of Mana and what will be Velstart.
Yeah, so basically what you have to do is get all the way to Velstart, get the King's Ring, which is after you kill him. Then we need to go to to an area which you can only get to with the ring you get, to then get the Ashen Mist heart, which lets you enter a memory, which then lets you fight the final boss of the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically what we're doing.
You have to figure all that out yourself, which actually isn't too bad, but people can get confused with the different paths available, and feeling like you have to basically pick the right one with no actual nothing telling you which way to go.
Well, that wasn't very good.
Use it quick. Oh, yeah. Okay, it's fine. We can still buff inside the fight. The reason that we can't use a bright book here is because you get invaded. It's a scripted invasion. Honestly, I don't know why you can't use bright books when you're invaded, but it's a mechanic they put in. So whenever you want to use one, you have to use it before you get invaded or after the invader goes home.
Yeah. You can sometimes skip the invasion, though, but I'm not sure how that works.
You can kill the seer to skip that one. I think there is also something to do with Rat Authority about skipping this, but yeah, I don't know. Or if you're not in online mode, I don't know if she invades. Nice Fog Gate. It's another difficult Fog Gate in this game. The enemy's standing right next to it and you're not getting any frames for quite a while. It's difficult. So playing it a little bit safe here with RTSR, he would have died during the buff, but still a good fight. Hitboxes on Velstart are quite large, so RTSR can be quite dangerous there. But a good section.
Yeah, but my health wasn't really set up that well for RTSI either, so wouldn't have been very easy to do.
Yeah, I usually carry the setup from Demon of Song all the way through Crypt, which means you have to set it up by getting hit by a variety of missiles in the Shrine of Mana and pretending that it was intentional.
So yeah, now we're on basically the final part of the game. Well,
Yep.
the final few bosses.
Now we're on to the kind of like memories style. We need to go up and speak to a giant dragon that might not actually be a dragon, in order to get something to go into the memories, which is required to spawn the final boss. Well, it's required as a component to spawn the final boss. There's 3 doors like this in the game, which are also pretty slow. Not quite as slow as Dragon Lake Castle Gate. We skip one of them before Giant Lord, and then there's 2 others that we'll have to stand and wait for.
Yeah, and one common trend with this part of the game is a lot of running.
Yep.
Just of this run in general.
Run up here, kill the boss. Get whatever the boss is defending. Run to the next boss, kill the boss. In this part of the game, at least, because we don't need to pick anything up here. We already have the build that we want, which is this key to the embedded and not a lot else. Blindring. Nice skip here that you can do. Saves like 7 seconds, I think. That skip 6 seconds.
And now we're going to be fighting probably my least favourite boss in this route.
Yeah, I think a lot of people dislike this boss. Not just in this route, just... I personally do not like this boss at all. I think it's terrible. It's a dragon. If you don't kill the dragon in the first few seconds of the fight, it can indefinitely fly around the map. Which is not very fast and not very good for a melee build. So a lot of strategies have kind of been come up with over time to try and basically we want to maximize the damage we can get. I guess you don't use a bright bug in this route, but just try and hit him. He has a scripted opening, kind of get him as many times as possible. Very good. So you kind of force him to turn here. Okay, whiffed one, but still worked really well. Nice. You can see he was about to fly off, and then as soon as he does that, you're just sitting, praying, waiting for him to come back down. So we try and do as many hits as possible whilst he's on the ground. That was nice. Pretty much as long as you don't let him fly, it's fine. Just keep him on the ground. It will save you a lot of time. In other routes where you don't quite have as much as damage as this, that fight can be quite frustrating.
Yeah, and I guess this is the third really long elevator you mentioned before.
Yep, this is the last one, yeah. This one's extremely long as well. There's a big dragon area.
I know whoever the people who made this game must have a pretty big fetish for long elevators.
Yeah, well, it's like the it's meant to be kind of like an open world thing, right? So you lose immersion if you're having to look at a load screen, but you don't lose immersion if you're having to look at an elevator wall go up and down or something. But yeah, so they kind of do it like that, and actually it works quite well. It's just unfortunate that there's so many elevators back to back in a linear part of the game that it's like you kill a boss, you wait for the elevator, you clear the area, you kill a boss, you wait for the elevator. At least until now. It is what it is. It means you can take a nice mental break during the speedrun.
Yeah, and we got a nice skip here called Airy Jump.
Yeah.
Which used to be a worry before we, back when baby jumps were a thing.
Yep. You actually can make this jump with a baby jump. It's a specific lineup that you kind of like roll on like the bottom of the rock and make it, but
yeah,
people set it up so fast nowadays that you just hope you get a normal jump and you're fine.
Yeah, it was pretty bad in all bosses for a while, where you'd run for like an hour or so and then just hope you didn't die to the jump.
Oh yeah, an hour and 25 minutes to get here in all bosses on a good run, and then you just die and you're like, cool, guess I'll do that again. Because it's a big time loss as well. If you take the bonfire, it's like 45 seconds to 50 seconds. If you don't, it's a reset. So, and you don't want to take it because you can't do anything about it. It's kind of like an AI bug you can do here. See if you get it. Yep, this guy at the back just, I don't know what he's doing. He runs away. Oh, got hit by the lightning. Cool. Then we've got the final part up here with lots of enemies and a kind of cascading staircase all the way up to the top.
Alright, nice.
Nice, yep. Everything around here does a lot of damage, and our health bar is not that high here, so. There's the Ashen Mist heart that is required from this whole section. So really this section was just running to Guardian Dragon, making sure he doesn't fly, running up and speaking to this dude, so that we can continue with the game. It's not a particularly interesting part of the run. You can die to Airy Jump and stuff, or the enemies, but like that, if I was in a speedrun, that's one of the kind of more relaxed splits, given what's coming up. Yeah, this is a skip as well. Might want to buy some life gems after Giant Lord.
Okay, I need to go a bit more left. Okay. There you go.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll buy some after this fight.
Yep. You don't have to, but 2 life gems for the last boss is getting a little close. I guess you've got some other healing items. This area, you just kind of pray that these dudes don't kill you, because their hitboxes are, I mean, arguably the worst hitboxes in the game, these giants. And then you got to pray that the game doesn't decide to kill you here, which is good. And try not to get stuck. Nice. There we go, nice fight. So we'll get the Giant's Kinship. Yeah, we're killing this dude, which is the last item required to spawn the final boss of the game. Which we'll be heading to now.
Yeah, it's final 2 bosses now.
Yeah,
It's basically just 3 bosses in one, if you think about it.
yeah. That was pretty clean. I find Giant Lord a very scary segment in any percent, because you're kind of running through a lot of areas with you get one shot by everything, and they're not very consistent or reliable. So you can sometimes just kind of die there. So it's good to get past that segment, which gives us a good chance at the last bosses.
Yeah.
This fight can be a little scary as well. It's a 2-on-1. Legitimately have to just fight both of them.
Yeah, it's basically the Ornstein and Smo of this game, except they put it at the end.
Exactly. It's definitely the most finesse-like. But they have shields, so...
Yeah.
Strategy is to try and hope to get as much damage as you can on the big guy.
The shield, man.
Yeah, they like shielding, these guys. They're not very fun for speedrunners. Guard breaking them doesn't help you out. Parrying them doesn't help you out. Okay, that's SR. Nice. The boss down. Then just the final boss. Time, if we don't die, time will be about, I guess, a minute from now. We want to see a beam here. Gives you a lot of space for attacking. It's like a long range attack.
Alright, nice.
Really nice fight. And that's the last boss. You're finishing up in 15 seconds. Finale. Nice time.
Alright, nice.
And that's time.
Yeah, it's time. That was a 102 no load. I'm not sure what it is, RTA though.
103.40 it seems to be RTA. But yeah,
nice.
still good time. Well under estimate. Well done. The death at the start at Bino Jump was it doesn't put you in a good mindset. I feel like, but you did well to recover from that, and you got into it quite a lot in the mid game. I thought, so that was really nice.
You who link the fire.
Yeah. Now we get to see what happens to our character.
Once the fire is linked, souls will flourish anew, and all of this will play out again.
Oh yeah, I think this is what the law's about. These kind of giants, you can like make them
to embrace,
be your bridge
this.
or something. So you can go and open this door.
Yeah. It's a pretty crappy ending though, when you think about it.
Yeah, you don't get much. You don't get much to go on, do you?
Yeah.
So this dude goes and sits on his chair.
I guess the other ending you can get is a bit better.
Yeah, if you kill Aldia, but that's gonna have a lot of time to get the second ending. I don't know how much time. Probably 25 minutes, 30 minutes. A substantial amount of the run would be sorting out Aldia.
Yeah, best ending percent.
Yeah, look at that character. He knows what's up.
But yeah, and that's Dark Souls 2.
Yeah. There is 11 minutes of unskippable credits you can watch if you really want to. Or 13 or 9. I'm not sure what it is. It changes every now and again.
I mean, you can kind of skip them now.
Can you?
Yeah, it was in Discord.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
credit skip?
Yeah, but you got to do like meme setup for it.
Oh, I need to look at that. Huh. Sounds pretty pretty good, yes.
Well, anyway, that was the run. I hope everyone enjoyed.
Yeah, thanks for watching, guys.
And thanks for commentating with me, Pseudo.
Oh, no problem.
And if anyone wants to run this game or is interested in Speed Souls, you can go to the Speed Souls Discord or website, and there's many resources and people who will help you out if you want to run this game or another Souls game. But yeah, other than that, thanks for watching.
Yo, what's up, everyone? That was a very cool run. I've seen like the old like version 1.0 any percent. I've never seen like current patch. That was a lot more than I thought it would be. It was a lot more involved. That was really interesting. On top of that, we got a lot of donations during that run. I actually will be donating the full $100 that I promised. So look forward to that. My hosting shift is over, so you're probably thinking, why is this Dale Duck guy still here? Shouldn't he be not here? Well, you see, for Pokemon Snap, we're going to be switching it over to CJ, It's All Good, to do the hosting for the next 3 hours. And we're gonna get some comfy Pokemon Snap. Great game. Just got finished playing it casually recently. Very good. I'm excited. I'm gonna watch from bed. But before we do that, I'm gonna run an ad for Gamer House, and we're gonna do some marbles. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw it over to that ad. I'll be back with some marbles, and then we will be all set up with some Pokemon Snap. See y'all in a bit. Yo, what's up everyone? Like I promised, we're getting some marbles. Let's go. Alright. As always, as you can see at the top, type !play to get in. Maybe, probably, if it wants to load in. Take my word for it, I don't know. Well, it should be working, it's not. Take my word for it that the race is active. OBS is just acting up. Really not. Looks like we're up to 10 people. We're getting a good showing today. Oh god. Something's happening on my screen. Alright, we're up to 11. Things are happening. The controlling is the control has been removed from me. Okay, we can see marbles now. Woo! 12 people in here. I can't remember if I typed play or not. I did. I'm in the game. All right. 12 out of 50. We're sort of just waiting. At this point, we're just waiting for enough people to get in that I feel like starting it. If you already did !play before, you're already in the game. But if it makes you feel safe to do it again, feel free to do it again. There's a bit of technical difficulties there, a little bit of panic, which isn't great when I'm very tired and about to head back to bed because I woke up for this. I might eat food first, I don't actually know. I'll probably make like a burger or something and then take a nap. But with that being said, with me stalling long enough here, I'm gonna give the 20-second warning. So I'm gonna count down from 10. I'm gonna hit start. There's gonna be another 10 seconds, and that is gonna be your deadline. So starting in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hit start. Alright, I have 10 more seconds. We are off to the races. Here we go. Here we go. Who's in first? Looks like CJ's in first. Our next host. Not anymore, actually, because we're in a funnel, and whenever we're in a funnel, it just kind of like messes up. So you know what? I'm gonna follow CJ because CJ is a gamer. Let's see. We're gonna follow the adventure of CJ here for a little bit until we know who's actually in the lead. Just gonna watch this play out a little bit. All right, marbles are starting to go into the hole. Let's see what's up with this. All right, who's in first now? NASA Marathon is in first. Not a rigged match at all. Not at all. Coming close in second. A good sign for the speedrun to come. We have Quo. Quo is a speedy boy today. Maybe not as much. Oh, overtaking it? No. Was in first for a second there. I think it's the way it tracks who's in first is weird. But oh, there I am. I'm seeing me with the I lost my train of thought. But it's looking like NASA Marathon is still up here, still gaming. Oh, getting in a hole pretty early. Is NASA gonna win? Or is CJ gonna... Oh, there's actually some more people down here now. Hold on. Dark Aries. Oh, CJ's off the map. Rip CJ. Unfortunate. I guess I'll have to be your host for the next run. CJ has fallen off the map. Looks like we still have a whole bunch of people in the funnel here. I'm finally starting to get some falling down here. Arcseed, bringing up the lead here. Bit of an underdog. Haven't seen that name in the leaderboard, I don't think, but I also haven't really been paying close attention. Just the marbles themselves are so hype here. But it's looking like Arcseed might take the win here. Got Blazing Chaos and Quo coming in second and third, probably. Getting close to the... slowing down. Can it happen? Can Blazing Chaos take it? Oh, very close first and second there. Let's back up the camera a little bit, watch everyone else trickle in. NASA Marathon coming in 7th. Dale Duck coming in 9th. Gassy Turtle Squad 8th. Killian 10th. Still got some marbles coming in. Still got some stragglers. It would appear that CJ has managed to claw their way out of the depths of Marble Hell and into the Discord call.
It was touch and go there for a second. I saw I was briefly in first place, and then I fell off the map.
You sure did. Looks like Arcseed is the winner. Congratulations, Arcseed. You win me saying congratulations to you.
What a prize.
And with that, I think we're good to let CJ take over here so that I can go back to bed. A little bit of a spoiler alert before you do, because you may have missed it. You are going to, we're going to be hitting the $1,000 goal during your shift, because right after I leave this call, I'm going to donate $100.
Wowee! That's so incredibly generous of you, Dale. We all appreciate that. Your generosity knows no bounds, truly.
Yeah, a little bit of a humble brag there. But yeah, we're gonna do a Save the Children ad now, and then you can watch the Pokemon Snap and get comfy.